and welcome to another video. It has been quite a long time and I kind of have reasons, I kind of don't have reasons, but we're back for another video and it's time to do the mid-year book freakout tag. I never remember what it's called. So this video is going to be broken up where the beginning is going to be kind of like an update on why I've not been posting any videos, and then kind of also like what I've been reading, and then we'll move into the freakout tag. So for the not posting any videos thing, it's really nothing that deep. It's kind of just like I've been doing a lot of things at home and at work, and there's like been some new developments and new things going on in life, and as there always seems to be. And I was getting in this like booktube rut where I was like, I have to post consistently, otherwise people won't see my videos. But honestly, I was forgetting the whole reason I was making these videos in the first place, which is to track what I'm reading and to just have a good time. And honestly, I really enjoy making videos and I missed making them. So now on to what I'm currently reading, because I can never do anything simple and I can never just read one book at a time. So I'm currently reading two very dense, long, over 800-page books, of course. So one of those books is The Stand. This is a complete uncut edition by Stephen King, and this is over 1,100 pages. I'm around like page 600, 650, something like that. It's like halfway, maybe a little bit more than halfway. I tried reading this book last year and I made it to page 70 and I put it down because I was very intimidated. This time I'm listening to the audiobook while reading along with it, and sometimes just the audiobook, and it's making it a lot easier mentally to tackle this doozy, because the audiobook is like, I don't know, 40 hours long or something like that. So even at like 1.3 speed, it's still taking me like 2 months to get this far. So it's kind of hard to describe what this book is, but it's basically about a pandemic that also has paranormal aspects to it. So there's this like super virus, super flu that's like going through America and kind of killing everybody. There's like a select few who are immune to it, and that's like our group that we're following. But there's also this paranormal aspect to it with Mother Abigail and the Dark Man, and I don't really know how everything ties in together yet, but so far I'm having a pretty good time reading it. So next I'm reading Manacled by Sin Lin Yu, and this is a fanfic of Harry Potter, and I don't really want to get too much into details about it because I feel like it's kind of controversial in the topics of it, but it's basically eventually gonna turn into a romance between Hermione and Draco Malfoy, which I know some people are totally against and some people have wished that since the beginning. So it's one of those things where it's like, I read it because while I was doing some other research on other things, I saw this book hyped up all the time, and so I was just curious and I started reading a few chapters, and now I'm 38% of the way through it. I don't know, I'm enjoying it so far. The only problems I'm having with it are there are some pretty explicit scenes that are a little bit uncomfortable to read, and there are also some repetition and kind of wordiness. It's not really needed, but again, it's a fan fiction, so gotta have grace with that. All right, on to the mid-year freakout book tag part of this. So this book tag was originally created by Oh Gray Books, and her video will be linked below. So my Goodreads goal this year was to only read 85 books, and last year it was over 100, and the reason for that is because I know life is going to get hectic this year, and so I didn't want to set myself up for failure. Like last year my goal was I think 120. So far I have read 37 books, which is about 10,700 pages. All right, now on to the questions. These ones are kind of loosely answered, and some of them I just didn't answer at all because I don't have answers for them, but we'll see where we go. Question number 1 is the best book you have read so far in 2023. I have more than one book for this, of course, because I couldn't pick one, but I have HTO by Virginia Bergen and this series that I don't want to say aloud. I devoured both of these. I just loved them so much. This one is a post-apocalyptic book because those are kind of like my favorite. I love post-apocalyptic and mermaid books. Like those are my cups of tea. This one is about poisonous rain. So like there's this meteor that's coming towards Earth and they destroy it, but it still, like bits and pieces of it still come to Earth, and it gets in the water supply, and then it gets into the rain, and it turns into some kind of like poison rain, but like fast acting poison rain. So like as soon as it touches your skin, you're done for. Like there's no way you could survive that. And it's a very interesting book that follows this, like, I think she's like 16 or something, and kind of how she is dealing with this, how she survives. Yeah, I really loved it. I think that I gave this one 5 stars. And then there's this monster of a book. This is actually 5 books in one. The Risk, Sidetracked, Scarlet Angel, All the Lies, and Paint It Red. And it's about this girl who is a serial killer who falls falls in love with, I believe he's FBI. He is the one who is working her case and trying to find her. So it's very cool, very entertaining, and very captivating. This one is very rated R, so be warned about that. But I thought that it was so interesting. Oh, I think I gave this one 4.5 stars because there was just like some tiny issues that I had with it that I can't remember anymore because I read this in like February, but I loved it. All right, question number 2 is best sequel you have read so far, and that's got to be The Storm by Virginia Bergen, and that is the second one for H2O. I love the way that the covers go together. I think they're so cool. If you like open it, there's like a window. It works with this one too. And I think that is so cool, and they just like fit together well. They look cool on my bookshelf. But besides that, this is the second half of the story to H2O, and I loved it so much. Like, it's such a good ending, and I loved everything about it. Like, I thought that I couldn't love Ruby more. Just the way that she interacts with people and the way that she tries to survive and her line of thinking. Like, this book was so good. It was such a good second half to the series. Number 3 is new release that you haven't read yet. I don't really pay attention to new releases, so this one is kind of hard to do, but I got this book for Christmas. This is Beyond the Wand by Tom Felton. This is I believe it's a biography, memoir type of thing of like his whole life and not just what it was like to be Draco Malfoy, but that does obviously play a huge role in his life because he was in the movies for like 10 years or something, 15 years. I don't know how long it took to make all 8 movies. Yeah, and this one was published in 2022, so it's kind of new, but kind of also like not really because we're halfway through 2023. I'm very excited to get to this, and I just haven't yet because The Stand is long and demanding. I'm probably going to get to this one soon, honestly. Like after I finish Manacled, I probably will want to read this. Question number 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and I don't know what's coming out in the second half of the year. There are kind of things that I'm looking forward to. Like I'm really looking forward to Summerween. Not sure if I'm gonna record it, probably, but like that's a loose probable. I've also been hearing really loose rumors about Coraline having a second movie. I'm not sure how I feel about that because I don't really love sequels, but like I loved Coraline and I love Neil Gaiman, and anything that comes out of Neil Gaiman's brain, I want it. So if that's a possibility, if that's a thing that happens, I want that. So question number 5 is the biggest disappointment of the year, and for me that was The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I had so many expectations going into this book, and I heard it compared to Knives Out, which was a very incredible movie and I loved it so much, and having so many people hype up the romance in here, and everything just kind of fell flat for me. Come here. Everything just kind of fell flat for me. Like I didn't love the romance, I didn't love the story, I didn't see the connection between this book and Knives Out. Overall, I just like was disappointed. Cool, well, the stack of books is not for you to sit on. Question number 6 is the biggest surprise, and this book, it's got a long title, so it's called Eclectic Witchcraft: Old Ways for Modern Magic by Charlotte Wilde. And I've always been interested in witchcraft and the occult and everything to do with magic and kind of witchiness, and I've never actually read anything as close to a like instruction manual as this before, and it was very interesting. And it's like such an interesting way of thinking and a way of seeing the world, and it actually led me to this YouTuber that I started following, and I absolutely love her because of course, you know, I did a ton of research on like this type of magic. Of course now I can't find it. Her YouTube channel is called The Green Witch, and she does a lot of like recipes for like food type stuff or tinctures, or she does candles and protection spells and stuff like that. Her videos are very interesting, and I was spamming them for like a week straight. New interest unlocked. Question number 7 is favorite author, and that's definitely got to be Virginia Bergen's. Like I love these books so much. Like I love the writing style, everything about them, and I want to look more into her books and read more of her stuff. So questions number 8 and 9 I'm kind of skipping. It's your newest fictional crush and your newest favorite character, and I don't really hold on to characters like that, so it's kind of hard for me to really think about characters beyond me reading the book. Like once I finish reading the book, I don't think of the characters as people. I kind of think of characters as part of the story. I'm just gonna skip those. So number 10 is a book that made you cry. This one is a little bit difficult because not a lot of books I've read recently have made me cry. Tons of SVU episodes I've been watching recently make me cry. Even though I've already watched all of them like 3 times, it doesn't matter, they still make me cry. There was one book that made me cry. It was a cancer book, of course. It's called A New War on Cancer by Christina Marucci. I mean, it's a book on cancer and kids with cancer. Of course I was gonna cry. I had to read that book for work, so it's not really like I went out of my way to go look for it. So there's like no personal reasons for looking for a cancer book. I just had to read it for work. But yeah, no, it was gut-wrenching. Question number 11 is a book that made you happy, and this book is The Monster Match by Isabel Jordan. This book was so fun. This is a adult paranormal romance, and it's kind of about speed dating between monsters. Humans are going on speed dates with paranormal creatures, and it's like a wide range. So like you got witches, shifters, I can't remember everything. It's been a really long time, but the main character was a human and she fell in love with Frankenstein's monster, which I thought was such an interesting kind of concept. I never like read anything like that before. And it was a very interesting read, and it was so cute and happy, and I loved it. It was just a fun time. Question number 12 is the most beautiful book you've bought so far. I've been on kind of a book buying ban this year because I have so many books that I haven't read yet, and I have a problem recently. Like I've had a real big problem with buying new books. Like I pretty much exclusively buy books used, and that means you can't really pick the cover or the edition that you're getting. So it's kind of like a roll of the dice. Honestly, nothing that I've bought recently has been very beautiful. However, there are some books that I have made beautiful. A new hobby that I recently got really into is bookbinding. Pretty much everything on my TikTok For You page right now is only bookbinding and recipes. Pretty much just bookbinding. And it's such a cool art form, and it's such an interesting way to express yourself and to kind of create something out of something else. Here's what I mean. This is His Dark Materials, the trilogy by Philip Pullman. So we've got the Golden Compass here. It looks the same front and back, nothing on the spine. The Subtle Knife. This one is kind of hard to see. And the Amber Spyglass. These all have like foiling on the paper and nothing on the spine. These were all paperbacks that I had taken the paperback cover off of and turned into hardbacks. It was a journey, and I messed up a billion times on each one of these, but I had a really fun time doing it. And the series just like, it means a lot to me, and so I just wanted to first experiment with these. I did think about recording it, but then I also knew that I overestimate my creative abilities and artistic talent. And so I wanted to just kind of practice doing it first. I do want to do the Harry Potter series next, so maybe I'll record part of that. It is hard though, because I can do this part. I put the fun papers on with like the cloth on the spine, but I can't write on it because my handwriting is really not that cute, and I don't have a Cricut, so I don't really know what to do. And I know for a fact that if I try to write something on the spine with my gold gel pen, I'll ruin it and I'll hate it and I'll be upset. So I'm just not gonna do that. Question number 13 is books you need to read by the end of the year. And obviously The Stand is on there. I want to finish The Stand so bad. It's been a long time coming. I've been working on this for over a year. I mean, I did restart it, so technically I've been only working on it for 2 months, but this needs to get finished. Also, that pile of books, that one, can't really see what they are. I want to read all of those and I put them there to kind of encourage me to read them. This one especially, Beach Reads by Emily Henry. I got this for Christmas last year and I was really excited to read it, but I was waiting for summer so that I can have those summer vibes and read it in the summer. But this year and last year, I could literally care less about summer. All I do is go from spring to wanting it to be fall. Like I'm gonna read it. I am. I just don't have to like summer while I read it. And the last question is new favorite book community member. This one is a little bit tough because I really haven't been on BookTube recently and I haven't really been watching a ton of videos, but I have been spamming Christy Ann Jones videos. She's a writer, and so she does like writing vlogs and like testing out different authors' writing techniques. But then she also does like bookish lifestyle videos, and I just like love her piece and I love her like aesthetic. Everything about her videos, I love them, and I've been watching them like every day for the past like 2 weeks. But yeah, so that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!